Time now for the voice of the land on the Big Play Network with your hosts, Kevin Arnold and Always Positive Jay.
Tony shed a lot of light on what the Browns will look to do this offseason with free agency, restructuring of contracts to get that money available. And really, it does start with that defensive line. I think we were all on board for that. But hearing kind of Tony break it all down and how Jim Schwartz has been able to get the best out of defensive lines in the past, and that's what he's known for. Yeah, he had some success in Detroit as a head coach, but where he's really made his mark is on the defensive side of the ball, and he has that head coaching experience. He has that leadership ability, things that Kevin Stefanski can learn from him. I think that can really go a long way.
I mean, he's done it everywhere he's gone. I think 3 or 4 different stops, and it's literally the defensive line is just elite every time, and he produces an all-pro, not a Pro Bowl, an all-pro defensive tackle almost every time, every year. And again, I'm excited for him. Like, I tried to, always, I was going to say last time, I was like, all right, I'm not going to get excited. And then I did it again, and I got hooked.
Yeah, I'm not getting excited by it. Again, someone that's covered it for a long time, I know, not going to get into any of it. I know that, Tony blocks a lot of people, and for good reason. But he's been doing this for a long time. He has covered this team for a long time. The way that Tony presents things and how much football the amount of football he'll forget is
more than we'll know.
More than we'll ever know. Just because he's been around it for so long. And deep in his heart, he's as much of a fan as all of us are. He has to, just like we try to do on the show, he is one of the ultimate professionals to look up to here in Cleveland sports industry. I'm sure a lot of people disagree with me. That's okay. Don't really care about that.
I have a theory on that.
What? What do you think?
I think Tony Grossi gets slack from the failures of the Browns. Truly believe that. Everyone's like, oh, he's negative. Like, dude, they've sucked since they've been back. Like, what do you want him to say? Something positive about 0-16 seasons.
Everybody's got to find that scapegoat. And then they also find that person to latch onto. And if you talk bad about him, then, you're...
And here's, even when we had Baker, he did not want Baker. And he was pretty verbal about it. And then when we got Baker, and everyone gave him crap, and then Baker gave him crap. After Baker did good, Tony came around and was like, I was wrong. And he was positive about him. And he tried to even befriend Baker, and Baker just kept being a jerk to him. Yeah. No one says anything about that. No one ever mentions that on Twitter. They just constantly with the hate and the hate.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I implore any of you to meet the man, and I guarantee you will think differently after talking to him.
I mean,
he's one of the nicest people you'll ever meet, and he'll take time out of his day to talk to any fan about Browns. He doesn't cut you short. He doesn't blow you off. He's just a really nice dude. He's super professional. I'm sorry our football team sucks and he has to report it. It's not his fault. He's not controlling the outcome of this team. He's trying his best to make it good.
It's not Mary Kay's fault. It's not Tony's fault. It's not Darrell Ryder's fault. It's not any of those. It's not the media's fault. There's one person. There's really
we're one of the nicest medias of all sports.
If you want a scapegoat, there is a person you can go to. It's just they're not going to sell the team.
Yeah,
it's the owners.
It's always the owners.
What is the constant in all of this? It was ownership before. I'm not trying to really rag on the Lerners or anything. Just from an ownership standpoint, rest in peace to Al Lerner. Yes.
Was getting it together. He learned. He was actually on the right track. And unfortunately passed away.
Yes.
And his son, he's a good dude, but it wasn't in his heart. He wasn't in it. Yeah. And the Haslam's are learning. I just hope to God they're learning.
But at some point, just like with the Cavs, and we'll get to them here in a second, the young tag for the Cavs has to come off at some point. Yes, I know that they have a lot of young players, but that go to that as a excuse, scapegoat type reason. That has to go away. The Haslam's learning how to run a football team and own a football team. When they learn from the Rooneys, Steelers are a great organization. They have great ownership. The Haslam's learned from them. Okay, they were going to make their mistakes because they were now at the forefront. They've made those, but now the mistakes continue. Can you get it right? Did you get it right by leaving Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry at the helm of this organization? Did you get it right to give him another chance and just help fix some other pieces behind them and allow them to fix those pieces from a football standpoint? Only time will tell. I'm not going to get excited by things that they tell us. That's all we're going to have. We're going to have guys running around in shorts. We're going to have press conferences. That's all we're going to have until September. Talk to me in September about excitement level. And I mean like a couple games into September, not just before the season. We'll probably have that conversation because we do that segment every single year. Everybody does that segment. How excited are you for the season? Schedule game. Yeah. All season. Woo.
You got to do it. Got to do it.
Got to do it. Well, we don't have to because we do whatever the hell we want on this
Yeah,
show. It's just I can at least acknowledge when the right things are done. And the right thing was done by bringing Jim Schwartz in here. Now you got to do the next right thing and the next right thing. It's not just one thing and you get everybody back. I'm sure that there's the black hole of Twitter. I'm sure those people are already back and they're, always positive. And I'm not playing on your name. We are as realistic as we can be. And
well, that's what I tell people all the time. Like, they're like, oh, that's not positive. I'm like, no, once I started doing podcasting, my sports takes are going to be my sports takes. My positivity is going to be actions I do in life. And that's just, there's a difference.
And when you say always positive, Jay, like you're talking about life. You're not just talking about the sports teams. And again,
and part of it is like when they lose, letting go and just enjoying life and being happy about your life and not yelling at poor defenseless media members.
Yeah.
I get legitimately mad at some people. Like I was talking to one of the media members and he made a pick 'em and he picked the Steelers and he was getting death threats. I'm like, are you serious? Like, he's like, oh, it happens all the time. I'm like, what is wrong with you people? Like,
I don't know.
You're not even playing on the damn team. Why are you so upset? I don't get it, dude. Some people, they need to seek help. That's just the truth.
You guys,
and I'm not trying to be mean. Like, seriously, some people just need to seek help.